That's exactly what you want to do during this. If you learn this, you're going to be so goated in your fights. I'm telling you right now, always look to extend the time you're editing. That way it's really consistent in fights and you never screw up. Hear me out for just a second. Think about the last time you died in a realistic fight. Imagine you learn the correct way to tunnel so that you can properly heal up and have ample time to do so. Learning all the different types of tunneling could be stressful. In this video, I'm going to break down every tunnel you need to know for not only endgame, but realistic 1v1s and like mid-game fights. My name is KenBeans and I'm going to be your professor for today. The best way to support this channel is to use code KenBeans in the item shop. You guys are literally killing it with using my code and sending me proof. I appreciate it so much. Just think about your boy the next time you're in the item shop. All right, let's hop into this video. I'm going to start from the basic to the most advanced tunnels just so we're all on the same page. Each type of tunnel is going to be numbered above the webcam just so you guys can skip around if you know one. This one right here is extremely basic and requires zero editing. Just remember that you don't have to fully block off every side when you're tunneling. Sometimes you can afford to leave tunnels exposed like this. If you know there's no one on this side, then just feel free to tarp like this. All it is floor, and then you look down and place a stair. Boom. Just remember that when you do this one that you have to look past this front tile right here. The sweet spot for this tunnel is looking right about here. The closer you are to the middle, the more you're gonna have to look over. This next tunnel is a different variation of that same thing, but more supported. Literally all you have to do is floor, wall, floor, wall. Make sure that you let go of your wall while you're doing this. So many people tunnel and they hold their walls the whole time, so they have to edit through like this. It's terrible. More often than not, you have to let go of your turbo build so you can get to the next piece without placing it in front of you. Almost every type of tunnel involves something like this, where you have to let go. Starting out on Fortnite, a lot of people may not know that. So I'm holding turbo build, I let go, place. Holding turbo build, let go, place. Like that. You see this? So far, we got this type of tunnel down. We got this one. And you should be able to do both of these from different sides. A quick tip for when you're doing this one is to never get too close to this wall. That's why you always see me adjust. You see how I look this way and then run back this way? That's because I don't want to hug this wall, otherwise it's going to screw the whole thing up. Whenever you're doing any type of tunnel, you want to keep your distance from all the walls. That's how you get the best crosshair placement. Next up is the triangle tarp, like this. Now there's two different type of people that do this. You either do it this way where you look up, or you do it where you look down. The reason why I never look down like this is because it blocks my field of view. Whenever you're doing any type of tunnel, you want to make sure you have vision about where you're going and where you're looking. If you're looking down, then you can't see what's in front of you. It's like dribbling a basketball with your head down. It doesn't make any sense. The same type of movement implies with letting go as well. So it's floor, wall, stair, and then let go, floor, wall, stair. Let go, floor, wall, stair. If I were to hold my builds in between this, I would end up getting this wall in front of me right here. I'm editing this video right now, and this is what night KenBeans looks like, by the way, but I forgot to add in one tunnel. Since we're on the topic of doing this, don't forget about learning how to do this with just the stair, keeping your head up as much as possible though. All it is just diagonal tarping with these stairs, and just make sure you're keeping your head as high as possible so you can kind of see where you're going. This is one of the things I do in endgame to conserve mats as much as possible and to just kind of rotate for myself. Usually this is a solo tarp though. Whenever you get more than halfway on this floor, that's when you want to place it. Let's hop back into the video. Those beginner tunnels are kind of more so for endgame. This tunnel right here might be a little complicated to get used to, but I'm gonna break it down step by step. Every pro uses this to get away from people in fights. It's all about putting the most builds possible between you and the opponent. So let's say that someone's on this wall right here, they're spraying, right? They end up hitting you or getting a shot, whatever. In this position, now what you have to do is run away. So what that might look like, straight up building a box like this and then placing a stair. So now you have all these walls around you, you're completely protected because more than likely you're gonna be weak. So you surround yourself with walls and put a stair for double layer protection. So now you come out here, it's all about crosshair placement. So it's here, like this, stair. And you see how I'm just walking through constantly? This is a really hard tunnel that I'm not even that good at, but you only need to be able to do it 1 or 2 times. You're not gonna be doing this for hours. You see, this might happen a lot, where you get on the stair, you just have to be more patient with placing it. This is what I'm talking about, where you have to lift up your finger from turbo building, so that way you don't place it too early. So it's boom, boom, stair. If someone's here on my wall and I just fully tarp away, they have to run all the way over here, and by the time that happens, you might be able to pop a mini or get some shield off. If you have a lot of mats, that's a correct way to tarp away from someone so you can get 1 mini off at a time. Just remember, when you're tarping away like this and you place the stair, you might want to edit out like this, place a floor, and then if they chase you, shot, reset, like that. That's how you take someone off guard, because now they're running into your box. That type of move is something that every pro player uses. Listen, that tunnel might be a little complicated, so you want to learn how to do it without the stair first. So all it is floor. I look that much. I barely move, like that. And then from here, I just start from the right and kind of drag over. So in fast motion, you see how I just constantly have this motion going? A bad habit that a lot of people do is look too far over this direction. If you do this too fast, you're gonna end up slowing down like that. No matter if you're holding W the whole time, your character is not gonna be running. So you have to keep full movement going the whole time. Just make sure you stay semi towards the middle. That way you're not overextending to place a wall. If you're really stuck on these type of tunnels, just turn off sprint by default, and then that way you can walk through them like this. This is the easier way to learn anything when you're doing Fortnite. Just turn off sprint by default, because you go so much slower and you can practice way better. Just remember, in endgame, let's say you're tunneling over someone's box, right? And they can edit you down. So what you want to do is not only practice tunneling like this, but you also want to practice when you go over someone's box using the same thing with cones. This way you're more protected. You should be able to tunnel with cones, and you should be able to tunnel with floors like this. This diagonal type of tunnel is the one that I'm going to talk to you about next. This is the most important thing in the world. Let's just say there's a player in that box. This is when this move is useful. So I'm just going to diagonal tarp over to him like this, and then that way I can cut him off and try and block him. And if I ever get his wall, then I can just, do this. And I have this whole thing here. A lot of times when you block someone off completely using this diagonal tarp to catch up to them, you can just straight up cut them off and then just box them up, shoot, and whatever you got to do. Something that I practice is learning how to tarp like this, where you place an extra piece of stair here. This might look a little complicated, but it's really not. If someone's really on my back, I'll whip out a couple stairs in between, maybe place a wall behind me, like that. That way they're completely blocked off and they have to run through so much builds. So it's floor, walls, and then you just look down as you're running, and then you only press it once, so you let go. Now I'm back to the floors, and I do the same process over again. So it's like this in fast motion. So in slow motion again, it's this, stair, look up, like that. This is the I gotta get on top of this hill sweaty type of tunnel. You don't have to do this type of tunnel razor fast, but it looks like this in fast motion. It's a full protected stair tarp is pretty much. So if you ever get a good position on the edge side of zone, all you have to do is block off one side instead of two. That way it's so much easier for you. This is where a lot of people are going to struggle, but all it is just stair. I look this direction as I'm going this direction, so I'm going at a diagonal to get more time on the ramp. I look up, and then I turn, look this way, look up, and then I continue with the stairs. And then I turn this way, then I turn this way, and I just do this really fast. You see that? The same thing applies for the one direction. So all you do is look up, stairs, look up, stairs, and I'm letting go of turbo build. Just remember that. You don't always want to hold turbo build in all these. This is another sweaty tunnel. Let me break it down for you. So it's pretty much like the mongrel tunnel, where you're placing a wall in between each build that you do, or each box. Every box is a new wall that I have to edit through. It's like this one, but with a wall in between. What some people don't realize, depending on your keybinds, you're not going to be able to do this tunnel correctly. This is one of the reasons why I edit with my thumb, because I have full control over my movement. Unless your binds are optimal on your keyboard, then the only way you're going to be able to do this is with controller movement. I used to edit with F, so that means I wouldn't be able to go right while editing. So when it comes to this motion, I have to extend the time I go on the ramp like this. I have to constantly go around. Instead of just running at it straight on and making it really difficult, what I do is I extend my time on the floor and then place the wall. And you see how I'm going in like this oval shape almost? I'm going around like this. That's how I'm able to edit in time and not rush it, and it's consistent. All you have to do is just try your hardest to take this slow. That way you can get used to the movement and placing the walls and getting used to pressing those buttons fast. If you really get good at this tunnel, what you want to do is focus on placing the stair behind you as well in between each edit. This is how it gets really complicated, and this is probably the most complicated it's going to get. So it's boom, boom, and then this. Turn. If you don't extend the time you're on this floor as you're placing this stair, then you're gonna be at a really weird angle and you might find that your stair places like this instead. I'm telling you right now, always look to extend the time you're editing. That way it's really consistent in fights and you never screw up. I saved the most useful tunnel for last, so leave a smiley face down in the comment section if you made it this far in the video. This one's like the full tarp like this, but instead you don't want to place this wall here. So all it is just learning how to let go of your walls while you're placing them. If you learn this, you're gonna be so goated in your fight. This tunnel right here might be one of the most important ones because it teaches patience while you're placing things. So that way you're not rushing and you know exactly what you're doing. It's really important to just focus on doing this movement though. You see how small I'm moving my crosshairs like this? That's exactly what you want to do during this. So all this is boom, boom, boom. And then I'm back to this. Remember to really extend the time you're on this floor by looking this direction and running towards it. That way you never lose momentum. When you're dropping so many frames in endgame, this is what people do. They look more this direction so that way they know it places. So boom, boom. You see how much I'm looking to the right and left, but I'm still running? That's exactly what you want to do. But when I'm on 0 ping and creative, I can do it as fast as I want. When you learn all these different types of moves in the game, that's when you start to become so much better because this is where your brain really starts to dissect things and you can pick things up fast. The more you learn, the faster you can learn the next time. Think of it like that. Just remember that sometimes the goal is to use the least amount of mats when you tunnel. Other times, the goal is to use as much mats as possible to put as much distance between you and the enemy so you can have time to heal. If you have any questions, don't forget to stop by on my Twitch channel and I'll try to help you in the best way I could. Also, before I forget, shout out to everyone on the screen right now using code KenBeans. If you thought I forgot about you, you're playing yourself. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a solid night. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Deuces. Peace.